Your future doesn't have to look like your past. You are allowed to build a different kind of life now. Your future doesn't have to look like your past. You are allowed to build a different kind of life now. You don't need dramatic changes. Sometimes a healthier routine, a new hobby, regular social contact, or a daily walk can be the beginning of something meaningful. Point 1, there is also freedom. In realizing that you don't have to explain every decision. Maybe you want a quieter lifestyle. Maybe you don't want to travel anymore. Maybe you want to travel more. Maybe you want to spend your money differently. Maybe you want to learn something your family doesn't understand. As long as your choices are responsible and appropriate for your circumstances, you don't need everyone to approve of them. After spending decades meeting expectations from parents, employers, spouses, children, or society, it can be easy to keep living according to what other people think you should do. But later in life, your priorities may change. What once felt important may no longer matter as much. That doesn't mean you should ignore the people who care about you. Their concerns can sometimes contain useful information, especially when your health or safety is involved. But listening to someone is different from allowing them to make every decision for you. You can consider their advice and still make your own, informed choices. Maybe your version of a good life is simpler than it used to be. Maybe you value peace more than status. Maybe you prefer a small circle of close friends instead of a large social network. Maybe you want to spend more time with family, or perhaps you want to develop interests that are completely your own. You are allowed to change, and you don't have to keep defending the person you were 20 years ago. The important thing is to make choices thoughtfully, taking your health, finances, responsibilities, and safety into account. Freedom doesn't mean doing whatever you want without consequences. It means having the confidence to decide what is right for your life while accepting responsibility for those decisions. Sometimes, one of the most valuable freedoms that comes with age is simply realizing that you don't need everyone's permission to live a life that makes sense to you. Point 2, don't underestimate the importance of balance. As you get older, balance can become more important than you realize because so many ordinary activities depend on it. Walking across a room, stepping over a small obstacle, getting out of a chair, turning around, or standing on an uneven surface all require your body to coordinate movement and stability. That doesn't mean every older adult will develop serious balance problems, but balance can change with age. Medications, vision problems, muscle weakness, or certain health conditions. And this is where fear can sometimes make things worse. If you're worried about falling, you may start avoiding movement altogether. You sit more, walk less, and become less confident about moving around. But avoiding all activity isn't necessarily the best solution. Instead, focus on improving safety and maintaining the abilities you have. Balance activities can be included as part of physical activity for older adults, provided they are appropriate for the person's abilities and performed safely. If you already have significant balance problems, a history of falls, or a medical condition affecting your movement, getting guidance from a healthcare professional or physical therapist can be especially helpful. You can also look at your surroundings. Keep walkways clear, improve lighting, pay attention to slippery surfaces, and use appropriate support when necessary. The goal isn't to become fearless. The goal is to become more capable and more prepared. Because maintaining balance isn't just about exercise. It's about preserving the confidence to move through your daily life. And sometimes, the best way to protect your future independence isn't by moving less. It's by learning how to move more safely. Point 3. One lesson that becomes clearer with age is that your health deserves attention before it demands it. It's easy to postpone a checkup, ignore a change in your body, or assume that every new symptom is simply part of getting older. But aging doesn't mean every change should automatically be dismissed. Your body can change as you age, and some changes are completely normal. But new persistent, worsening, or concerning symptoms deserve appropriate attention. This doesn't mean becoming worried about every small sensation. It means becoming more informed about your own health. If something feels different and continues to bother you, bringing it up with a healthcare professional can help you understand whether it is something that simply needs monitoring or something that should be evaluated. This can be especially important when a change affects your ability to walk, sleep, eat, exercise, remember things, or perform your normal daily activities. Another important part of taking care of your health is staying aware of medications. If you take several medicines, make sure you understand what they are for and how they should be taken. If you experience new symptoms after starting or changing a medication, discuss them with your healthcare professional, rather than stopping prescribed medication on your own. The same principle applies to physical activity. You don't need to wait until your body becomes weaker before paying attention to movement. Regular physical activity, appropriate for your abilities, can help support strength, balance, mobility, and independence. But the right amount and type of activity can differ from person to person. If you have a chronic condition, a recent injury, significant balance problems, or haven't been active for a long time, getting professional advice can help you choose a safer starting point. Your health isn't something you should only think about when something goes wrong. It is something you can support every day through reasonable choices, appropriate movement, adequate rest, nutritious food, social connection, and regular medical care. You don't have to control everything about aging, but you can become more responsible about the things that are within your control. Point 4 sometimes. The best thing you can do for your future is protect your energy. You don't have unlimited physical or emotional energy, so spending it on every argument, obligation, and problem can leave little for the things you actually value. Not every disagreement needs your response. Not every invitation needs a yes. Not every problem belongs to you. After decades of work, family responsibilities, and helping other people, it can feel strange to step back. You may even feel guilty for saying no. But protecting your energy doesn't mean becoming selfish. It means understanding that your time and energy are limited resources. If something constantly leaves you exhausted without providing anything meaningful in return, it's reasonable to reconsider how much of your energy you give it. Use that energy for the people, activities, and responsibilities that genuinely matter. Point 5, retirement can also expose how much identity you once received from your job. When the career ends, you may suddenly wonder who you are without the title, schedule, or responsibilities. That's why building sources of meaning outside work can be so valuable. Family friendships, hobbies, volunteering, learning, community involvement, and personal interests can all become part of your identity. Your occupation was something you did. It was never the entire definition of who you are. And if retirement has left you feeling lost, that doesn't mean your most meaningful years are behind you. It may simply mean you're being asked to build a different routine and discover what matters now